Man, my God, what a show! Oh my God, what a show it has been. Ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your set. I'm Hitman Cos. Welcome to the official review for NXT In Your House Premium Live Event. My God, my heart is still racing right now. Good God, this was something else. And of course, I'm not alone. Please welcome, as usual, the the co-host, the humble man, Gary. Gary, welcome to the contracts, man.
Yo, what's up, my boy Cos Payton? Yo, the NXT takeover, NXT in your house was, oh my God, crazy.
You're telling me, man. Uh, um, uh, it's gonna be hard for me to get any sleep tonight.
Word.
But, let's get into it.
Facts. Let's do this shit.
Now to start off, we had the match that I was looking forward to the most. We had the Cartels versus the Mafia. Tony D'Angelo, Channing, Stacks Lorenzo, and Troy Two Dimes Donovan versus Legado del Fantasma. And what a whirlwind of a match it was.
Yo, that's a fact.
And man, this match had to have been 100 miles an hour, like the second the bell rang, man. Like both teams were going balls to the wall, man. It was crazy.
Exactly, it really was fucking crazy.
And I found it interesting that at the beginning, when Legado del Fantasma came out, they had the referee check around the ring, to which the ref discovered Tony's crowbar.
Word.
But then, when the Mafia came out, they tried to look for Legado's brass knuckles, but they couldn't find them. We'll get into that later.
Facts.
But
Facts.
both teams brought their A game, man. For majority of the match, Tony was all business. He didn't crack a smirk. He was. This had to have been the most serious he ever was.
Word, yo.
But yeah, then I'll admit, freaking Alexa Lopez didn't really play much of a role in the match as I thought she would.
Oh, word.
Like, I figured she was gonna interfere like mad time to distract the ref or whatever, but nah, she stayed in her lane at least until the end of the match.
Facts, bro.
Where what happened was, I think one of the Mafia members had the ref had the ref distracted, during which Alexa Lopez moved towards Santos Escobar and gave him the brass knuckles.
Word, yo. That was crazy for real, son.
However, freaking, they weren't going to get up that easy, because it was either Stacks or Two Dimes that gave Tony D'Angelo his crowbar. Unfortunately, Tony wasn't able to use the crowbar. However, they turned the tables on Legado del Fantasma anyways, because they tried to use the brass knuckles, but then Tony got his hands on it, cracked either Del Toro or Wild with it,
Facts.
and to get the 1, 2, 3, and like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Mafia prevails, and now Legado del Fantasma has no choice but to join the Mafia. Pay the bad, forget about it.
Hell yeah, yo. Facts.
And the Don once again reigns supreme. And if we're speaking Mafia terms, one would have to say that that Stacks and Dime and Two Dimes have to be the consigliere and capital regime respectively.
Facts. Word.
Just because Tony's the Don,
Word.
and if you know how mafia rankings go,
Right.
the chains of command.
Facts. Right.
Yeah. So yeah. I was very pleased with this outcome. I felt that one too many times Legado del Fantasma, mainly Santos Escobar, kept slipping through Tony's fingers. But this time he finally outsmarted them, and now Tony has the last laugh. And NXT once again belongs to the Mafia. Pay the man. Forget about it.
Word, yo. Facts.
Moving on. We go into our first championship match of the night. Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane taking on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter
Word.
for the women's tag team titles.
Facts.
When it came to Chance and Carter's entrance, they once again, proved the point I was trying to make. Because their entrance was pretty much like a friggin' rave, and this was the point I was trying to make. Like, y'all all doing all this crap, having a rave, having a party with the fans and whatnot, and y'all choosing now to get serious, like, and you expecting niggas to get behind you. I mean, sure, I guarantee they had mad people behind them, but not me. Never had.
Well, word, hell yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Then getting down to the match, Dolan and Jane started off the match to try and jump Chance and Carter. But, Chance and Carter, I will give them their flowers. They definitely have improved, and they tried their hearts out to try and win the titles. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at Toxic Attraction.
Oh yeah.
And I will admit that finishing move that they have, where where Carter has one of them in a backbreaker position, and then Chance hits, I think, a 450 splash or something like that, or like 630 splash. I'm not sure.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I'll admit that move is nice, but not nice enough to take out Toxic Attraction. They were able to weather the storm, and they did regain the titles, and also they regained them clean, mind you.
Oh yeah, man, they did.
So once again, Toxic Attraction further cements himself at the top of the NXT Women's Division. Well, NXT Women's Tag Team Division.
Word.
Then, moving on, we had Cameron Grimes defend the NXT North American Championship against Carmelo Hayes, who, as usual, had Trick Williams by his side. Yo, let me say something. Yo, Carmelo and Trick couldn't look any more fresh coming into this pay-per-view, yo.
That's a fact.
Especially Trick. This dude Trick coming out looking like a freaking pimp, yo. Had the big robe. He even had the pimp cane.
Facts.
But Melo especially, again, he also was all business. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't showing much arrogance. He
Exactly.
He knew he had to buckle down and focus on
Exactly.
on on the task at hand, and he knew that he couldn't fool around as far as getting completing what needed to be done.
Exactly.
And and I will say this when it comes to the match, one could argue that that Trick shouldn't have interfered, but at the same time, the only reason why Trick interfered was because Cameron Grimes attacked him first. Because before then, Trick hadn't interfered in the match at all.
Exactly.
But once Cameron Grimes hit that I want to say evasive roll, something like that, and no, or it was a dive, and he took out Mello and Trick. That's when that's when he hit Trick.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah. So Trick was only getting him back,
Exactly.
and then he did provide enough of a distraction where Mello was able to hit his top rope leg drop, and like that, ladies and gentlemen, the A champ is back.
Well, hell yeah.
Now, I'll take nothing away from Cameron Grimes. How him winning the title was a feel-good moment. It was great. He fulfilled the promise to his father.
Oh yeah.
And everything. But the honeymoon's over. 15 minutes is over. It was time for Mello to get back what was his.
That's a fact.
And to be fair, only reason why Mello lost the title is because it was a multi-man match.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure he made the match himself, but still.
Exactly. That's a fact for real.
But that's then. This is now. He's the champ once again, and we can all celebrate as Black Excellence has once again risen through the ashes in NXT 2.0.
Exactly. Yup. That's a big fact. Big fact.
Yep. Moving on, we had Mandy Rose defend the NXT Women's title against Wendy Chu.
Right.
And once again, let me say this, man. All those pranks and shit, like, all that shit started to get really annoying, man.
Right.
Like, I understand she wanted to challenge them and get the title and whatnot, but all those pranks were just so annoying, man.
Exactly.
No, they were nothing like when it came to DX doing pranks. They would just so.
I agree.
Yeah. But Wendy once again, Wendy did prove for you not to be fooled by her demeanor or what she wears. Freaking, because when it comes to it, to being in the ring, she'll go toe to toe with the best and show why when it comes to wrestling she's one of the elite.
Yep. That's a big fact. I don't know.
But also, Mandy Rose also proved once again, like she has for the past 200 plus days, that she's more than just a pretty face.
Right.
And everybody and so many people look at the pretty face and assume that she can't wrestle, that she ain't got no skill. Well,
right.
She's once again proved that she is one of the best that the NXT Women's Division has to offer. She was able to survive Wendy Chu throughout all the antics, even when freaking Wendy tried to protect herself with that pillow and shit tore up the pillow, almost cost the man of the match, but she was able to hit the V trigger and win the match, and she is still the NXT Women's Champion. And let me say this: what more does Toxic Attraction have to prove, especially Mandy Rose? What more do they have to prove that like I said, they're more than just a pretty face. Their skills are for real. They aren't any of the divas that couldn't wrestle their way out of a paper bag, and they were only there for fan service. They to put it simply, all three of them,
Right.
all three of them wrestle as good as they look.
Right.
And time after time after time, all you fucking marks stay trying to discredit them as champions and constantly shit talk them. Well, as of now, what the fuck y'all got to say now?
Exactly.
All three of them retain their titles cleanly. They didn't cheat. They didn't look for a shortcut. They didn't do anything behind the ref's back. They beat their opponents cleanly.
Exactly.
So honestly, to honestly piggyback what Mandy Rose said, put some respect on their name, especially Mandy. She's held that title for over 200 days and counting, mind you.
Exactly.
Freaking, she's deserving of a lot of respect. Like at this point, her title reign is getting into the to the upper echelons.
Exactly.
As far as people women who've held the title for a long time, she's getting there on the level of freaking Asuka and Shayna Baszler.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you for real.
And I don't care what anybody says, man. The numbers don't lie.
That's a fact.
And
Numbers don't lie.
And what the numbers is saying is that her reign is getting up there to being one of the best. As a matter of fact, I think she might be in the top 5 as far as longest reigns. And if not, then she's well on her way. And then even then, you can't deny her skill and everything she brings to the table. To which she'll all three of them, especially Mandy, will look drop dead gorgeous, and then whoop your ass too.
Right.
But I'm through ranting about that. Moving on, we have the NXT Tag Team Championship up for grabs as Pretty Deadly, or the other name I want to call them, but of course I'm not trying to get my channel deleted. Pretty Deadly defending against the Creed brothers, and there was an extra stipulation where if the Creed brothers lost, then they would have been taken out of Diamond Mine. Now, as expected, the Creed brothers once again brought everything they had and then some, and also proved why they're athletic freaks of nature.
Right.
Freaking. And also there was also added motivation because their parents were ringside. But even still, they brought everything they possibly could, and Pretty Deadly tried so hard so many times to cheat, to try and find a back door, and try to do whatever they could. But thankfully, in the end, it was not enough. No matter what they did, it was not enough. The Creed brothers dug as deep as they could, and after digging as hard as deep as they did, what did they find? They found gold.
Word.
Because they both freaking hit their finisher. Freaking Julius hit that knockout clothesline, and like that, finally, and I'm gonna say it one more again, finally, as it should have been the first time around, the Creed brothers are your new NXT Tag Team Champions.
I'm happy about that. Just like you, my boy.
Freaking, when it came to that gauntlet, they should have ran the gauntlet. They should have won it there, but better late than never. This was a long time coming and very, very well deserved.
Oh yeah.
Got these, like, honestly, given their wrestling skills, like, and some people might be thinking that I'm gassing them up, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Just because they're skill in the ring, I see them as a second coming, a 2.0, if you will, of American Alpha.
Right.
And if you don't want to compare them to them, compare them to the world's greatest tag team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Freaking, like, both of those teams, I see shades of both of those teams in the Creed brothers, and I hope they keep these titles for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And also, I forgot to mention, even though it really doesn't need to be said, that along with this win, they stay in Diamond Mine, and I can only imagine the look on Roderick Strong's face and Damon Kemp's face and Ivan Now's face. I know they had to have been grinning ear to ear to see these two finally get the job done. Because sure, Diamond Mine was in disarray for a good minute, but I guarantee that Roderick Strong in particular never doubted their skill. He honestly, I think, just felt they were taking their foot off the gas pedal. But they got it together, and they almost messed up because one of the tag titles got thrown into the ring. But they dug down deep and retained the titles. And won the title. Excuse me. So, this is some great work.
Facts.
Then, moving on to the main event. Braun Breaker defending the NXT title against Joe Gacy. Where there was the added stipulation where if
he was to get disqualified, he loses the belt.
Yep, where Braun somehow lost his cool and got disqualified, he would have lost the NXT title.
And we thought that it was about to come right to that, honestly speaking.
Yes, sir, because there was multiple times Joe Gacy and his Druids kept trying to push Braun to that point.
Yup, they were pushing his buttons badly.
And they were close. And hell, there was even one time where he almost did get disqualified because freaking Joe Gacy pulled an Eddie Guerrero, where the chair was in the ring, he slammed the chair down and then threw it to Braun, who caught it. And then again, because the ref only heard but didn't see, he can only go by what he saw. And he was about to DQ him. However, thankfully, a second ref came down and let him know that he did not do that.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the match, he had the chair in his hand once again, and once again, Gacy was begging for him to hit him. He was begging for him to hit him, but one of the druids got up on the apron and he was directly behind the ref. To which Braun hit the druid. To which, while he did that, Joe Gacy did his handspring off the ropes to do his finisher, the back handspring clothesline. However, before he could even think of connecting the clothesline, this nigga Braun spears him out of his boots. Good Lord.
Hell yeah. That was crazy.
Then got him into the military press before hitting the power slam to retain the NXT title. Now, oh man, I wanted Joe Gacy to win, but despite my extreme disappointment, this match was still great. The ending not to my liking, but I'm not mad.
Right. Facts. That was real crazy.
And honestly, this whole event once again drove home the fact as to why, despite its rebranding, why NXT still is one of the best brands out there in professional wrestling.
Right. Hell yeah. Some people, and I've been saying this for a while, let me say this. Some people may go on to think that, it's being watered down at the moment, but it kind of still is good if you were to ask me. As you just said, one of the best wrestling things going on. Honestly speaking, I agree. It still is one of the best, even though some people may seem to think that it's being watered down, and I think I know why they're saying that, because some of the OGs had left, but it's still kind of good at the moment.
Yeah, but just because the OGs left doesn't mean that that the product quality was gonna go down. It's not all. That doesn't always happen, and it didn't happen because the new faces were able to pick up where the old faces left off, and they're still and they're still putting on show after show, match after match. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's great, and this event in particular was nothing short of excellent. And honestly, had all of my predictions come true, literally Joe Gacy not winning was my only prediction that did not come true. But even with that, part of me still feels that this event was damn near perfect.
Oh yeah, it really was.
Like, I can't find any fault in this pay-per-view, any dead moment in this pay-per-view. Like, this was great. It was awesome.
Most def, it really was. Facts. It was really fucking great.
And with those words of praise, we've come to the end of this episode of The Contracts. I definitely want to thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and chill with myself and the Humble Man. I want to thank the Humble Man, as usual, for kicking his wrestling knowledge, as always.
Oh, of course, my man Cos Painting. You already know that, most definitely. Of course, we'll be right back at you tomorrow with the results for WWE Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's right. So, y'all, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Comment if you feel like it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Keep it locked for the results to Hell in a Cell and review tomorrow. And until then, by way of Struggle Vision Productions, the Hitman and the Humble Man, and we out. Peace.
Peace. We out of this bitch. We'll be back at y'all tomorrow night. Later.